Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining in today's reading. Today we are going to read the continuation or part 2 of Śrīla Raghunātha Gosvāmī's Śrī Manaḥ-śikṣā, starting from verse 8. Before starting the reading, we want to first have a brief introduction. So Śrī Manaḥ-śikṣā means basically the Splendid Instructions to the mind. This is an excerpt from his larger collection Stavāvali, and it's an English translation and commentary of Sanskrit verses composed by Śrīla Raghunātha Gosvāmī. It is a spiritual manual that instructs the mind to abandon pride, deceit, and the desire for worldly prestige. The text outlines a step-by-step path to cultivate deep, unalloyed affection for the spiritual master, holy places, and pure devotees. It explicitly warns practitioners against the deceptive traps of material liberation and subtle ego, comparing these distractions to deadly tigresses and witches. By utilizing regular chanting and internal meditation, the practitioner learns to consciously redirect the mind's focus towards spontaneous divine love. Ultimately, the book guides the soul to spontaneously serve Sri Rādhā and Kṛṣṇa in the intimate sacred mood of Vṛndāvana. Śrīla Raghunātha Gosvāmī, he lived between 1494 to 1586 AD, and he was a Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharya and a follower of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is one of the 6 Gosvāmis of Vṛndāvana. That include Śrīla Rupa Gosvāmī, Śrīla Sanatana Gosvāmī, Śrīla Raghunātha Bhatta Gosvāmī, Śrīla Raghunātha Dāsa Gosvāmī, Śrīla Jiva Gosvāmī, and Śrīla Gopala Bhatta Gosvāmī. He was the first of the 6 Gosvāmis to meet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And we are reading this book from ISKCON Desire website. And ISKCON Desire is a free online resource for devotees worldwide and the multimedia social network with a mission to spread Krishna consciousness as per the desire of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who is the founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And they are doing this by providing Gaudiya Vaishnava biographies, Vedic knowledge, teachings and practices given by Vaishnava Acharyas. The rights for all the content presented here are reserved by ISKCON Desire. So we thank them for making all these books available for us to be able to read it online. And before starting to read the book, we are going to offer prayers and take the blessings of the Vaishnava Acharyas and the deities. Om Ajnānatimirandhasya Jnānāṅ-janashalakaya Chakshurunmīlitam yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam yena bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Pada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunādhanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Rādhā Kṛṣṇa Padān Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamsya Namāmo Vishnu Padāya Krishna Prasthāya Bhūtale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dīnabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Namostute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vṛndāvaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha Krupa sindubhya eva cha Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vṛnda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So as we said, we are going to continue this part 2 of Śrīla Raghunātha Gosvāmī's Sanskrit verses. It's the English translation called Śrī Manaḥ-śikṣā. Verse 8. O mind, please reside in Vraja and earnestly worship Lord Krishna, the lifter of Govardhana hill, fervently praying to him with utter humility to please him. Surely he will shower his causeless mercy upon a despicably deceitful soul like me, cleansing my heart of all dishonesty and pretense. Surely he will bless me with the wonderful nectar of prema, divine love of God, and inspire me to engage in serving the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. Sri Bhajan Darpana. Association with saintly persons is so powerful that it eradicates even the most abominable impurities from one's heart and elevates the spirit soul to the level of complete perfection. Unfortunately, such saintly association is not always available, and thus the following instructions are given to us in this verse. Humbly pray to Radha Krishna to overcome deceit. A humble plea indicates a mood of sincere surrender and devotion, particularly when the devotee feels that he is the most wretched person without any shelter to protect him. Srila Rupa Gosvāmī writes in his Sri Gandharva Sampradhana Astakam, O Radharani, you and Lord Krishna are constantly relishing your ambrosial, amorous pastimes in the groves of Vṛndāvana like the intoxicated king of elephants sporting with his queen elephants. Please be compassionate upon this soul, and thus being pleased, allow me to behold your two lotus-like faces. Alas, Sri Rādhā, O Gandharvika, wretched and miserable, I throw myself to the ground like a stick and implore you with a choking voice to hear my plea, that you kindly be pleased with me and consider me as one of your maidservants. O Srimati Radharani, your beloved Shyamasundara Krishna is much more charming than Lord Narayana. His beauty enchants the entire creation. You are always present on his left, embraced by his arm, and your exquisite beauty far surpasses the beauty of Lakshmi Devi. Oh, when will I be able to see this divine couple and serve them with all my heart? O my worshipable mistress Radharani, I yearn to become your maid in attendance, and to dress your transcendental form in a blue sari and to remove the ankle bells from your lotus feet, and in this way to dress you appropriately for your nocturnal rendezvous with your beloved Krishna, the beautiful young son of Nanda Maharaj. I want to send you off to your lover's tryst in the amorous groves where your paramour awaits. O Radha, when will this wonderful opportunity be available to me? O Srimati Radhika, you and Lord Krishna are the finest adornment within all creation. In groves of love you lie on a bed of flowers and exchange dalliances of love. Oh, when will I be blessed to serve you and your beloved's lotus feet? O Queen of Vṛndāvana, when will I be able to fan you with a chamara? when you and your beloved Krishna come to relax under the tree on the banks of Radha Kunda, after becoming fatigued from your amorous pastimes, pearls of perspiration decorate your bodies. I wish to find you in this condition and soothe away your weariness. O beautiful-eyed Radha, sometimes you hide in a well-concealed spot within the forest groves, but Krishna somehow comes to know your exact hiding place and naturally catches you. You suddenly suspect me of revealing your place of concealment and begin to question me. I begin to stutter. It wasn't me. Chitralekha tattled on you. So please do not frown and chastise me so. Oh, when will I be able to speak entreating words like these to you in the presence of Sri Krishna? When you defeat Krishna in playful bouts of words, you laughingly boast about your victory to your girlfriends, your sakhis. They appreciate your victory very much and cheer you. On with Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe. Oh, when shall I become fortunate enough to participate in your victory chorus? Anyone who reads this prayer with faith and love, glorifying the super excellent character of Srimati Radharani, the daughter of King Vṛṣabhanu, will surely attract Srimati Radharani and Lord Krishna to appear before him in person, being very much pleased with him. The cure for all pretentiousness. Whereas the pure soul is inherently simple and honest, deceit is the living entity's overriding contamination. As soon as the jiva comes in contact with ignorance and nescience, he becomes dishonest, arrogant, and yearns for worship and status, seeking deceitful ways and ever endeavoring in transient material activities. He thus distances himself from his original spiritual consciousness or Krishna consciousness. But if that same unfortunate soul realizes that his true position is to feel himself humbler than even the straw in the street, and therefore develops the intelligence to respect others according to their positions, simultaneously taking complete shelter of the holy names of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then surely he will receive the mercy of Lord Sri Krishna and concomitantly the grace of all the saintly personalities. Devotional service in conjugal love. Śrīla Gosvāmī describes conjugal Srungara Rasa in the following way. The fifth mellow, namely conjugal love, is the crown jewel of all spiritual mellows. First comes deep loving attraction for Krishna, which is known as Madhura Rati. When this attraction intermingles with the four ecstatic feelings of Vibhava, Anubhava, Satvika, and Vyabhichari, one can then actually taste the conjugal mellow. For example, in the mellows of servitorship, friendship, and parenthood, a deep and steady attraction known as Sthayi Bhava mingles with the four ecstatic feelings and produces rasa or mellow. In the conjugal mellow, Lord Krishna and Srimati Radharani are the alambana principle or the support, and their qualities are uddipana or stimulants to the Mathura rasa. While participating in their pastimes, the gopis and sometimes even Lord Krishna himself manifests the 8 varieties of ecstatic symptoms known as Asta-sattvika vikaras and the 33 devotional sentiments known as Vyabhichari bhavas. Thus these churn the ocean of rasa. Development of rasa. When sadhana bhakti or devotional service in the stage of practice matures into bhava bhakti or spontaneous devotional service, it is automatically transformed into sthayi bhava or permanent spiritual sentiment. Later, when it intermingles with the 4 ecstasies of Vibhava, Anubhava, Satvika, and Vyabhichari, rasa is produced and bhava bhakti is transformed into prema bhakti or devotional service in pure love of Godhead. This is sometimes called bhakti rasa. All of Krishna's pastimes in Vṛndāvana, particularly his activities with the gopis, are perfect examples of this rasa. Unalloyed devotees who are fortunate enough to be elevated to the platform of prema bhakti rasa first become assistants to the gopis and intensely implore Srimati Radharani to bestow her causeless mercy. Then a ray of Hladini Shakti, Radharani's own potency, enters their hearts, and the buds of prema rasa or loving mellows begin to blossom. No other process for attaining prema rasa is effective. Premananda, the highest happiness. By means of jnana, the living entity may sometimes experience Brahmananda or the bliss of Brahman realization and thus become situated in self-realization. But without the mercy of Radharani, he can never experience Paramananda, or the highest spiritual happiness. For this, the jiva has to pray very sincerely and humbly to attain the devotional sentiments of a resident of Vraja and become intensely greedy for such ecstasy. He then takes shelter of the Sakhis or girlfriends of Radharani or of their assistants, the Manjaris. By serving them, he gradually increases his eligibility of becoming ever more intimately connected with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Rādhā and Kṛṣṇa, and thereby his chances of rendering further direct and confidential service increase. Obtaining the mercy of the gopis. One obtains this special grace of Srimati Radharani by receiving the mercy of her girlfriends, and as the mercy increases, the Hladini Shakti matures, eventually engaging the spirit soul in the divine couple's personal ecstatic service, bestowing sublime spiritual joy upon him. It is very important to note that as long as the jiva considers himself as male, he is barred from participating in such intimate devotional mellows. This realm is far beyond any bodily conception, for in the primeval spiritual state, the soul receives a female form for participating in this rare mellow that has absolutely nothing in common with mundane forms, male or female. If one tries to interpolate the mundane onto the spiritual, the ensuing result is spiritual suicide, disastrous for real transcendental life. Verse 9, translation. My dear mind, always remain absorbed in Lord Krishna, the glowing moon of Vṛndāvana, for he is the most beloved of my worshipable mistress Srimati Radharani, the Queen of Vraja. Absorb yourself, dear mind, in Srimati Lalita Devi, for she is a matchless gopi and a bosom friend of my mistress, the Queen of Vraja. Absorb yourself, my dear mind, in Srimati Vishakha Devi, for she is my instructing spiritual preceptor. In Radha Kunda, Radhika's favorite pond, and in Sri Govardhana Hill, for they all increase my loving attraction to the divine couple and their sublime pastimes. Sri Bhajana Darpana. Śrīla Rupa Gosvāmī writes in his Stavāvali, I worship that youthful cowhead boy whose complexion resembles the hue of fresh monsoon rain clouds, whose ears are decorated with fragrant champaka blossoms, whose gently smiling face defies the beauty of a lotus in full bloom, who wears a dhoti, the color of a molten gold, whose crown is decorated by a peacock feather, and who is the mainstay of all the three worlds. May that son of Maharaj Nanda, Krishna, always protect me. His face is more charmingly iridescent than the full moon in autumn. He is the ecstatic ocean of the divine pastimes. His exquisite hand holds a ball for playing boyish games, and he is the very life and soul of the damsels of Vraja. His entire body is covered with the fine dust raised by the hoofs of cows, and he carries a flute tucked into the dhoti, tied around his waist. His mellifluous voice captivates all the cows. O my Lord, O friend of the poor, a swallow never tires of the glories of the billowing black clouds, whether they send showers of rain or hurl bolts of lightning at him. Similarly, whether you are kind or harsh to me, in this world you are my only shelter. I have no other means. O slayer of the snake demon, Akha, my stony heart is devoid of devotion and grows despondent upon hearing about the arduous process of self-realization and the devotional discipline undertaken by great souls like Sukadeva Gosvāmī and Amrish Maharaj. I feel hopeless and incapable, but looking around me once more, I see the waves of mercy that you showered upon Lord Brahma and upon even the most fallen reprobates. This gives me renewed hope and soothes my troubled heart. Praise to Srimati Radharani and Lalita Devi. Śrīla Raghunātha Das Gosvāmī says in Vilapa Kusuma Anjali, the Queen of Vraja is my mistress. O Lady Mistress, O Radha, I am your maid servant. But the flames of intense separation are incinerating my heart, and I grow feeble from profuse crying. Finding no other means, I am therefore sitting somewhere in Govardhana and composing these verses in deep lamentation. O dallying damsel of Vraja, Sri Radhika, I am sucked into an ocean of grief, and my condition is so miserable. Kindly send me your mercy in the form of an infallible boat and save me from this whirlpool. Please give me sanctuary at your lotus feet. Śrīla Rupa Gosvāmī writes, I offer my obeisances to Srimati Lalita Devi, who is always engaged in serving the divine couple Sri Rādhā and Mukunda. She dries up the perspiration that dampens their lotus feet. She is intoxicated with the highest intimate mellows, and she is the enchanting repository of qualities like exquisite grace, silent gravity, and simple directness of speech. I offer my obeisances to Srimati Lalita Devi, whose beautiful face puts to shame the brilliance of the moon, whose doe-like brilliance of the full moon, whose doe-like eyes are ever restless, and who has acquired the rare distinction of being expert in dressing Radharani. She is the reservoir of all good feminine qualities. I offer my obeisances to Srimati Lalita Devi, whose ecstatic dancing is a pleasure to the eyes, whose exquisite form is covered by shimmering like silk dress, and whose blouse resembles the color of a peacock. Her golden complexion overshadows even the rising sun, and she is adorned with innumerable spiritual qualities. I offer my obeisances to Srimati Lalita Devi, who is a treasured house of all excellences, who instructs Srimati Radhika by saying, O unchaste Radha, do not be so generous and soft with that cunning son of Nanda Maharaj. Such timidity befits the mood of a conservative gopi. Dakshina Bhavi, you should be nonchalant like the liberal gopi, Bhamya Bhavi, and thus please him. Please hear my words, for they are for your benefit. I offer my obeisances to Srimati Lalita Devi, who is an unlimited ocean of all good qualities, who, when hearing even the slightest crafty word from Krishna to Radhika, is immediately angry, cutting him off with sarcastic words that make even Krishna lose face. Oh, you are so truthful, just a nice, simple-hearted and chaste lover. Srimati Lalita Devi is a reservoir of divine qualities, on whom Mother Yashoda shows her parental love. She is the preceptor for all the girlfriends, Sakhis of Radharani, teaching them all about sisterly affection. Her life and soul is Krishna, the younger brother of Balaram, and she is junior also to Srimati Radhika. May Lalita Devi give me the opportunity to worship her. I offer my obeisances to Srimati Lalita Devi, who is the embodiment of all sublime qualities, who, when she approaches every young maiden upon seeing her in the vicinity of Vṛndāvana, and finds out after some clever interrogation and she is inclined toward her mistress Radhika, immediately fulfills her desires and satisfies her completely. I offer my obeisances to Srimati Lalita Devi, who is most expert in arranging secret trysts between Radha and Gopinath, so that the divine couple may engage in pleasurable pastimes. She is not interested in any other festival, for she is the chief among all the intimate Sakhis of Gokula. Glorification of Yamuna Devi, Vishakha Devi. Śrīla Baladeva writes, Lord Vishnu immerses himself daily in the waters of the Yamuna with great pleasure and affection, knowing that Yamuna is the liquid form of Srimati Vishakha Devi. I offer prayers to Yamuna Devi, the daughter of the sun god Surya. Baladeva says that since Srimati Vishakha is Yamuna Devi, by glorifying one, the other is automatically worshipped. Śrīla Rupa Gosvāmī has composed 8 verses glorifying the river Yamuna, known as Śrī Yamunāśtakam from Stavāvali. Yamuna Devi is the daughter of Surya Deva, the sun god, and the sister of Yamaraj, the lord of death. Merely by touching her, one can rescue himself from the nether regions of doom, and simply seeing her exonerates the greatest sinner from endless sinful reactions. Her delightful dancing waves and swift current captivate everyone's heart. May that Yamuna Devi always purify me. Yamuna Devi is encircling Lord Indra's huge forest of Khandava with her charming, refreshing waters. Smiling white lotuses decorate her winding course, and sweet birds like wagtails dance gaily in them. What to speak of those who bathe in her crystalline waters? Even the biggest reprobates who simply think of bathing in the Yamuna are released from all their sins. May that Yamuna Devi, Suryadeva's daughter, always continue to purify me. Yamuna Devi is so merciful that anyone who sprinkles but a single drop of her water on himself is pardoned from the most heinous crime. She increases the flow of spontaneous love for Sri Krishna within one's heart, benedicting those who simply desire to reside on her banks. May the daughter of the sun god be always there to purify my heart. Yamuna Devi is so powerful that she flows through the 7 oceans surrounding Earth's 7 gigantic islands, linking them yet never merging into the oceans like other rivers. She is an intimate witness to all of Krishna's wonderful activities, and her shimmering beauty outshines and humbles the dazzling aura of a precious blue sapphire. May that Yamuna Devi, the daughter of sun god, always cleanse my consciousness. Yamuna Devi is crowned by the transcendental land of Mathura, Vṛndāvana, inspiring spontaneous devotion and attraction for Krishna in the hearts of the Vaishnavas who bathe in her waters. May that Yamuna Devi, the daughter of the sun god, always purify me. Yamuna Devi's charm is further increased by the lowing of the Surabhi cows that graze on her beautiful banks. The Kadamba trees lining her shores intoxicate and exhilarate her with their heady perfume, and she experiences her greatest ecstasy when Krishna's devotees assemble on her banks. May that Yamuna Devi, the daughter of sun god, always purify me. Hundreds and thousands of elegant white swans glide along Yamuna Devi's waters, their shrill cries echoing on her curved shores, charging the atmosphere with great festivity. Yamuna Devi is lovingly worshipped by demigods, Gandharvas, and humans steeped in devotion to Lord Hari. Anyone who is touched by her gentle breezes is released from the cycle of birth and death. May the daughter of Surya, Yamuna Devi, forever purify me. Yamuna Devi distributes transcendental knowledge about the sacred pastimes of the Supreme Lord Krishna and his eternal consort Radhika through all the 3 worlds as she flows over them. Whoever sings of her glories, be he the worst sinner, is immediately exonerated from all sins. She has become fragrant by the sandal paste and vermilion from Krishna's body melting in her waters when the Supreme Lord performs his water sports. May that divine lady, Yamuna Devi, forever keep my heart free from all contamination. The glories of Sri Rādhā Kunda. Śrīla Raghunātha Gosvāmī has composed a wonderful prayer glorifying Sri Rādhā Kunda from Vilapa Kusuma Anjali. O Radha Kunda, font of sublime joy, my mistress Srimati Radhika is always absorbed in divine amorous pastimes with her beloved paramour Sri Krishna on your banks, and you have endeared yourself to this divine couple more than anything else they cherish. Please, therefore, be merciful upon me and allow me but a moment's vision of the object of my greatest adoration, Srimati Radharani. In the same hymn, Śrīla Raghunātha Gosvāmī offers this nice prayer to Srimati Vishakha Devi. Vilapa Kusuma Anjali. O Vishakha Devi, O beautiful damsel of ever-flowering charm, my mistress Radhika, and you are of the same age, therefore you have become her confidante. She does not leave your side for a single moment. I am enfeebled by the arrows of separation from my beloved mistress Radha's. So kindly arrange for me to have but a glimpse of her, and in this way help sustain my life. Prayers to Govardhana Hill. In his prayer to Govardhana hill, Śrīla Raghunātha expresses his fervent desire to reside near the sacred mountain, Govardhana Nivasa Astakam. O Giriraj Govardhan, when Srimati Radharani spoke the following words with her lotus lips, "My dear friends, this mountain is the best among all the devotees of Hari. By the verdict of all the Vedas and other scriptures, you attain the unsurpassable position of becoming the Tilaka mark on the forehead of Vrajadam. I pray that you therefore allow me shelter near you." Verse 10, translation. My dear mind, just worship Srimati Radharani, for she has overshadowed Rati, the wife of Cupid, Gauri, the wife of Shiva, and Leela, the personal energy of Lord Narayana, with her exquisite beauty. Her good fortune has made her more resplendent than Indrani, the wife of King Indra, Lakshmi, the eternal consort of Lord Narayana, and even Satyabhama, queen of Dwaraka and wife of Krishna. She has cast a spell on Lord Krishna and brought him under her control, thereby preventing all other competitors, including Chandravali, from even coming near him. She is the most beloved of the Lord's girlfriends. Sri Bhajan Darpa. One cannot attain the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, who is the energetic principle and the source of all energies, without first approaching his internal potency. Description of Srimati Radharani. In this connection, Srila Rupa Gosvāmī writes in Ujjala Nilamani, the principal characteristics of Srimati Radharani, the Queen of Vṛndāvana, are that she is charming, ever youthful, has roving eyes, an ever-sparkling smile, a body marked with all auspicious lines. Her fragrance drives Krishna mad with desire. She is an exponent of fine music, has sharp intelligence, is dexterous, shy, respectable, patient, grave, playful, eager to display the highest ecstasy of Mahabhava. Thus she is the primary source of supreme spiritual love, the most famous, the object of attraction for her elders. That she is controlled by the love of her girlfriends, the principle of Krishna's many loves, and she has him always under her control. Srimati Radharani's glories. Scripture provides a plethora of descriptions of Srimati Radharani. In the Gopalottara Tapani, she is the embodiment of Mahabhava, or the highest transcendental ecstasy, and none of the other gopis or cowherd damsels of Vṛndāvana possesses her excellent qualities. Radharani is therefore known as the most famous Gandharva. The Rik Parishishta says, Srimati Radharani is always to be found with Sri Krishna, and Madhava, Krishna, is always to be seen with Radhika. One is never without the other's company. Narada Muni describes Srimati Radharani in the Padma Purana in this way. As much as Srimati Radhika is dear to Lord Krishna, her pond Radha Kunda is as beloved to him. Among all gopis, Srimati Radharani is most dear to Krishna. Rupa Goswami's prayers to Radharani. In his Chatu Pushpanjali Stavāvali, Srila Rupa Gosvāmī says, O Queen of Vṛndāvana, Sri Rādhā, I worship you. Your fair complexion is more resplendent than molten gold. The color of your sari, the hue of a blue lotus flower. Your beautiful braided hair is long and raven black. Its coiffure studded with many brilliant gems, like the shining black hood of a cobra. Even the beautiful lotus in full bloom or the rising full moon offers no comparison to your breathtaking face, for it is much more exquisite. Your shining forehead is marked by a tidy saffron tilak. The arches of your elegant eyebrows put to shame Cupid's bow. Your cascading black tresses away, and the dark mascara on your roving eyes makes them look like restless black partridges. Your fine nose is decorated by a ring studded with the noblest pearl, and your lips are more charming than bright red tulips. Your sparkling, even teeth are like rows of spotlessly white jasmine birds. The golden earrings that dangle gracefully from your ears like a pair of laburnum flowers are inlaid with many precious gems. The gentle cleft of your delicate chin is decorated with a dot of musk, and an intricately bejeweled necklace sparkles on you with regal splendor. Your nicely formed arms are like lotus stems, adorned with fine and precious gems, and the two armlets inlaid with blue sapphires softly jingle with your slightest movements, pleasing all ears with their sweet music. Your hands are beautiful and soft like the lotus, and your fingers are decorated with rings mounted with precious jewels. Your breasts are adorned with a large necklace finely set with stones and gems. The central jewel of your regal necklace sits atop a line of dark gems that grow gradually larger in size. One could mistake it for a black snake carrying a gem on its hood. You are slender around the waist, and your belly is concave because it must carry the burden of your full breast. It is marked by three lines like entwining creepers. A tinkling girdle of gold inset with precious stones adorns your broad flaring hips, and your shapely thighs put to shame the pride of golden trunks of banana trees. Your kneecaps are so delicate and well formed that they are far more attractive than round golden caskets studded with gems. The ankle bells on your finely formed feet sing an eternal melody, and the pink lotuses that blossom in autumn bow their heads in ardent worship to the beauty of your lotus feet. The brilliance of millions upon millions of full moons pales before the opalescent nails of your lotus feet. Innumerable ecstatic symptoms are your natural embellishments, and you become stunned and perspire freely when your yearning sidelong looks from afar intimately traverse Krishna's body. Uncontrollable erotic waves overcome you, and when you meet with your beloved Krishna, you are swept away in a surge of sublime ecstasy. O Queen of Vṛndāvana, you are the reservoir of all divine qualities, and I therefore worship your lotus feet. O Srimati Radharani, all the symptoms of the very highest ecstasy, Mahabhava, become simultaneously manifest in you, and your heart is benumbed. You are the ocean of unlimited transcendental emotions found only in perfect heroines, and everyone is amazed when you exhibit these ecstatic emotions. All the charming and captivating traits which make a heroine perfect are offering their obeisances to your lotus feet in silent praise. The great beauty Lakshmi Devi, the goddess of fortune, is humbly praying to attain residence on the toenails of your lotus feet. You are the crest jewel of the damsels of Vraja, an eternal resident of Gokula, the most beloved object of the gopis. Your gentle smile acts as the life-sustaining salve for Lalita and other Sakhis. When your roving eyes glance on Krishna with a sidelong look, it acts on him like a drop of ambrosia, maddening and inciting him with love. You are the apple of your father King Vṛṣabhanu's eyes, and the soothing rays of your moon-like activities exhilarate him. Your heart is like an ocean, which is overflooding with waves of compassion. Therefore, O Radhika, shower your mercy and be pleased with this person who is begging to become your maidservant. O Radha, my mistress, when will I be fortunate to see that after a lover's quarrel, when Krishna tries to pacify you, his indignant lady love with sweet, cajoling words in which he is truly expert, and begs you for a lover's tryst, you are really pleased within, but nonetheless turn your face away and look at Krishna from the corner of your eyes. O divine lady, will that day ever come when Lord Krishna, who is adept at everything, strings a charming garland of myrtle blossoms and slips it over your head, and his electric touch sends waves of ecstasy pulsating through you, and you begin to perspire profusely? When will I be fortunate enough to gently fan you with a palm of leaf fan? O divine lady, O beautiful queen, when after your hours of pleasure with Krishna, your intricately made up hair becomes disheveled and you need someone to set it properly again, when will you instruct this maid servant to do this service? O divine beauty with cherry lips, will I be able to see the wonderful dalliances between you and Krishna? When I place betel nut palm into your lotus mouth, Krishna tries to take it out of your mouth and chew the same palm. O Srimati Radha, among all the beloved gopis of Krishna, you are his most cherished jewel. Therefore, kindly be pleased with me and quickly shower your mercy by including me amongst your family members. O Queen of Vraja, I beg repeatedly at your lotus feet for your compassionate grace. Please allow me to become your maiden attendant, Sakhi, and confidante, so that when you become indignant after a lover's quarrel, Krishna will approach me, knowing that I am your Sakhi, and flatter me to take him to you. Then I will take his hand and guide him to you. Anyone who reads this prayer named Chatu Pushpanjali dedicated to Radharani, the Queen of Vṛndāvana, with faith and devotion will very soon receive her mercy directly. Worship of Srimati Radharani. In this manner, Srimati Radharani should be worshipped with wonderful glorification, prayers and devotional service. Let us hear what Śrīla Raghunātha Gosvāmī writes on this subject. Vilapa Kusumanjali, 101 and 102. O Supreme Ladyship, Queen of my heart Radha, Lakshmi Devi, the goddess of fortune, does not possess even a drop of the beauty that exudes from your exquisite toenails. Therefore, if you do not grant me the proper vision to pursue your transcendental pastimes, then what use do I have for this life, which is burning in the fire of excruciating sorrow? O merciful lady, indeed, lately I am floating in a nectarian ocean of hope and passing time in hardship and pain. But if you do not shower mercy upon me, then this life, living in Vṛndāvana, and even Lord Krishna are all meaningless to me. Meeting Radha Krishna. If by some great fortune, the mercy of a Vaishnava or Bhakti Devi, a devotee develops attraction or rati towards the devotional mood exhibited by the eternal residents of Vraja, Vrajabhava, then he must approach a guru who is on the Raganuga platform and find out his own eternal relationship with the Lord. He must then engage totally in devotional activities and worship with sadhana and bhajana, the lotus feet of the eternal and original Guru principle, Guru Svarupa Tattva, who is a Manjari, assistant of the gopis. By and by, after serving the Manjari as the Guru principle, when he receives her mercy, he then engages in the service of the Sakhis, Srimati Radharani's confidential maidservants and girlfriends. By serving the Sakhis properly, it is possible to personally meet Srimati Radhika, and by her mercy one can participate in the eternal pastimes of the divine couple. All this is possible to begin with only if one possesses guileless humility, intense greed, and undeviating resolve for executing devotional service. Verse 11. Translation. So verse 11, translation. O dear mind, in order to receive the direct service of Srimati Radharani and Giridhari, Krishna, who are intoxicated with and attracted to amorous pastimes with each other, and of their confidential and eternal associates, simply take shelter of Śrīla Rupa Gosvāmī, following his instructions of relishing the 5 types of ambrosial service to Lord Krishna, according to proper standards, namely worshipping, glorification, meditation, hearing, and offering obeisances, Archana, Kirtana, Jhana, Shravana, and Pranama, and simultaneously serve Govardhana hill. Sri Bhajan Darpana. Now, Śrīla Raghunātha Gosvāmī explains the very confidential and esoteric aspects of the science of devotional service. Confidential and eternal associates. Lord Krishna surrounded by his friends like Sridama, Subala, etc. and Srimati Radharani surrounded by her girlfriends like Sri Lalita Devi and Vishakha Devi. Attracted to amorous pastimes. Become absorbed in Krishna's conjugal mellow, knowing that the other mellows are waitership, friendship and parental are less attractive. Receiving direct service in Vraja. Devotional service rendered on the stage of sadhana bhakti is more like going through the motions. It is not direct service to the Lord. In these early stages of perfection, one serves the Lord from a distance. First, the devotee serves under the guidance of the manjaris a distance, and then gradually is promoted to serve the sakhis directly. Then, after perfecting her service under the tutelage of the sakhis, she receives the direct service of the divine couple, Sri Rādhā and Sri Govinda. Direct service to the divine couple. There are unlimited types of direct services: cleaning the groves of Sri Rādhā and Kṛṣṇa's pastimes, arranging their bed, bringing water, preparing betel nut pond, stringing garlands, etc. Countless maid servants each have a specific service in which they are totally absorbed. Direct service is possible only when the living entity obtains his original spiritual body. Direct service on the platform of conjugal mellow floods the heart with inexplicable bliss and ever fresh devotional sentiments due to recondite ecstatic emotions coming to the surface from within. This bliss is increasing by leaps and bounds at every moment. The devotee's heart cannot be touched by any sadness or sorrow, because now his sole concern is to serve his beloved object without the slightest desire for self-aggrandizement. The mood of separation, Vṛndāvana, experienced in the conjugal mellow, which is seemingly painful and sad, is incidental. It is factually and merely a transformation of intense ecstasy. There is no way that this feeling can be equated with a sorrow and a living entity experiences in the mundane plane. In the shelter of Śrīla Gosvāmī. The instructions and rules set by Śrīla Gosvāmī, the spiritual preceptor and authority on the science of devotional mellows or rasa, in his books like Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and Ujjala Nilamani, are meant to be sincerely followed. He writes, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.90 to 92. One must worship the deity form of the Lord with faith and devotion. Relish the topics of Srimad Bhagavatam by hearing from advanced devotees who are knowledgeable in the science of devotional mellows. Associate with like-minded Vaishnavas who are pure, more elevated and realized. Chant the Maha Mantra regularly and constantly, and reside in a holy dham like Vṛndāvana. Earlier I enumerated these 5 types of devotional activities. Still I mentioned them once again, only to reiterate their importance and superiority over other devotional processes. Worship the deity. To serve the lotus feet of the deities by worshipping them, to properly observe Haribasar, Ekadashi, Mahadvadasi, appearance days of the Lord and other festival days. Apply tilak on the body and respect the Mahaprasadam Mala, garland used by the deity. Respect by drinking the Charnamrita, water or milk, etc. used to bathe the deities, and by eating Mahaprasadam, Anna, food offered to the deities. Observing spiritual vows, Kartika Vrata, and to worship and serve Tulasi Devi, etc. are included within deity worship. Glorification includes studying the scriptures, discussing Krishna conscious topics amongst devotees, congregationally chanting the Mahamantra, and singing or talking about transcendental qualities and pastimes of the Supreme Lord. Meditation. Everything pertaining to remembering. Remembrance of the Lord and his pastimes are referred to as meditation. Meditation or remembrance. Śrīla Gosvāmī delineates meditation or jhana in this manner. Bhakti Sandarbha. Smaranam or remembrance means to search with the mind. One must follow the step-by-step process, remembering first the name, then the form, qualities, etc. Then one easily advances spiritually and remembers everything pertaining to the Lord, like his qualities, associates, paraphernalia, and finally his pastimes. According to Bhakti Sandarbha, Smaranam or meditation is of 5 kinds. Number 1. A little search with the mind for the Lord's name, form, etc. is called Smaranam. Number 2. To withdraw the mind completely from the external phenomena and to slightly direct it towards and delve on the Lord is called Dharana. Number 3. To fix the mind in thoughts of a specific form, pastime, etc. of the Lord is known as Dhyana. Number 4. When jhana becomes uninterrupted and gives excessive bliss, it is known as dhruva anusmriti. Number 5. When only the object of deep meditation is spontaneously manifest in the totality of the mind is called samadhi. Hearing. To hear about the Supreme Lord's name, form, pastimes, etc. from a pure devotee or a sadhu is the process of hearing. Hearing lectures on the scriptures in class or seminar, ishtagoshti, is also a part of sravanam or hearing. Offering obeisances. To offer obeisances to the deities and to offer obeisances dandavat to the holy places that remind one of the Supreme Lord. Serving Govardhana Hill. Śrīla Raghunātha Gosvāmī has directed this instruction both to himself and to everyone else. Govardhana Hill is the devotee's most precious object of worship. Raghunātha Gosvāmī's worship of Govardhana Shila. Lord Chaitanya gave Śrīla Raghunātha Gosvāmī a Govardhana Shila. He describes this incident in the following words. Though I am most fallen and wretched, that divine personality who saved me from the enticement of great riches and wife, etc., by his causeless mercy, became pleased by placing me near him, accepting me as one of his near and dear associates, putting around my neck so I would always have them near my heart, a garland of wild flowers, a ganja mala, and a Govardhana Shila. May that magnanimous Lord Gauranga always appear in my heart and flood it with sublime ecstasy. The Govardhana Shila is the direct manifestation of the Supreme Lord. To offer worship and obeisances to Govardhana Hill, and to think that since Śrīla Raghunātha Gosvāmī never left the vicinity of Govardhana, I also do not want to go away from here, is a sign of undeviating attachment and is the same as serving Govardhana Hill. For the sadhaka or beginner, this has two meanings. 1. To worship the Govardhana Shila in the same manner and with the same rules as the deities. And number 2, to stay in the holy place of Lord Krishna's pastimes, which means to stay in Vraja and meditate on the Lord. This is a different way of saying the same thing. Śrīla Rupa Gosvāmī wrote that to reside in the holy dham is one of the main limbs of pure devotion. Proper standards. Proper standards and rules do not necessarily imply vidhi or superfluous rules and regulations. Those on the platform of Vaidhi Bhakti or devotional practice ruled by regulation and strictures will understand proper standards in this way. But those elevated souls who are on the Raganuga Bhakti platform will be guided by the rules of Raga Bhakti as enunciated by Śrīla Rupa Gosvāmī. Verse 12. Translation. Anyone who, having taken shelter of Śrīla Rupa Gosvāmī and else direct followers, and residing in Gokula, Vraja, sings sweetly these 11 verses that instruct the mind with dear understanding, or the purports of these texts, will certainly obtain the priceless gem of devotional service to Sri Rādhā and Sri Kṛṣṇa. Sri Bhajan Darpana. The author is describing the result of reading the 11 verses which he speaks to his own mind, but are indeed applicable to the readers. Followers means followers of Śrīla Rupa Gosvāmī, Rupanigas, who relish the same taste in devotional service as oneself, are compassionate and more advanced than oneself. Just as Lalita Devi, in spite of being the leader of her own group, is still subservient to Srimati Radharani. Similarly, many elevated Bhagavata Uttama are highest class Vaishnavas who are gurus of many disciples or followers of Śrīla Rupa Gosvāmī. Yutheswaris or group leaders follow Radha. Śrīla Rupa Gosvāmī writes in Ujjala Nilamani, Hari Priyaprakaran 61. Sri Lalita Devi and other Sakhis are each qualified leaders of their individual groups, but still, because they are intensely greedy to increase their love for their worshipable object Srimati Radharani and to please her, they simply hanker for the position and mood of being her followers. Direct followers of Śrīla Rupa Gosvāmī. the teachings of Lord Chaitanya on the principles of mellows, Rasa Tattva, as instructed to Śrīla Rupa Gosvāmī, the process of worship and bhajana Śrīla Rupa Gosvāmī himself followed is called Rupānaga Bhajana. Forest of Gokula. Any secluded spot within the area of Vraja is referred to here as Gokula. The glories of Mathura Mandala. Śrīla Rupa Gosvāmī describes the glories of Mathura in his Stavāmala, Mathura Stava. Who is very adept in giving liberation in the form of devotional service at the lotus feet of Sri Govinda, who is embellished with the art of both saving the living entities and helping them cross the ocean of nescience, who shines like the crest jewel of all holy places in the entire creation, being the sacred pilgrimage where Lord Krishna enacted his early childhood pastimes. May that Mathura Dham, who is even worshipped by Vaikuntha, spread her benedicting rays on you. Her effulgence is more brilliant than a million moons. She is invincible even by the tremendous onslaught of material nescience in the form of 5 types of distress like ignorance, etc. This means that a resident of this place is unscathed by and free from all material sufferings. And hearing the glorious results of residing in this Dhamma, the powerful demigods are also fearful of doing anything to her denizens. Here Krishna performs his eternal pastimes continuously, which captivates the hearts of the great sages like Sukadeva Goswami, Saunaka Rishi, etc. She fulfills the desires of those who worship her. Lord Shiva even desires to serve her by being her gatekeeper and God. And Lord Varaha has sung eulogies to her. May that holy place of Mathura bless you with loving devotion to the Supreme Lord. She is like the seed of the tree of liberation and the uprooter and destroyer of the weeds of unwanted material desires within the heart. She protects one from all inauspiciousness and ills, fulfills all desires, even to the highest stage of love of God. Here Lord Krishna's twofold spiritual energies, Chit Shakti, which are eternal, full of knowledge and bliss, are forever manifest. May that holiest of Dhammas, Mathura, burn to ashes all sinful reactions, even of the subtle body, and shower you with love of Godhead. O Avanti, Ujjayan, please pick up this spittoon. O Mayapuri, the magical city of Indra, you can fan with the yak tail. O Kanchi, you hold up the umbrella. O Kashi, Benares, you keep the slippers ready. O Ayodhya, the birthplace of Lord Ramachandra, you do not have to be afraid anymore. O Dwaraka, you may stop singing your eulogies, because Lord Krishna's queen, Madhura Devi, is pleased with all of you, who are her maid servants. The glories of Vṛndāvana Dham. Again, in the Stavāmala, Sri Vṛndāvana Ashtakam, Śrīla Rupa Gosvāmī describes the glories of Vṛndāvana, whose Kadamba tree and the other groves are crowded by the cowherd damsels, the gopis, who come running and bubbling joy on hearing the flute of Sri Krishna, who is fragrant with the gentle breeze that carries the scent of lotuses blossoming in the flowing waters of Jamuna Devi, the daughter of Mount Kalindi. May that Vṛndāvana give me shelter. Vṛndāvana is superior to gaining liberation in Vaikuntha, the spiritual sky, and therefore is thousands of times more auspicious. This land gives the invaluable treasure of the spiritual mellows of servitorship, friendship, parental and conjugal love. She is so influential that Lord Brahma, the four-headed guru of the world, prays to be born there as a humble blade of grass and less. May that holy Dham Vṛndāvana become my only shelter. Her atmosphere is always seeped with the aroma exuding from the distant rows of trees in bloom, making even Lakshmi Devi heady and amazed, and the bumblebees, attracted by the excessive effusion of nectar from their blossoms, are buzzing around and offering prayers to this holy Dham. May that Vṛndāvana Dham give me shelter. Her entire body, an expansive tract of land, is decorated with the lotus feet impressions marked with signs of lightning, gold, etc. of the ever-youthful divine couple Srimati Radha, whose complexion resembles the lightning flash, and Govinda, whose hue is the color of a fresh monsoon clouds. She is surrounded by fresh buds and shoots which are trying to emulate the tender beauty of the nails on the lotus feet, on the lotus feet of the divine couple. May that holy Vṛndāvana give me shelter. Here Nanda Maharaja's bosom friend King Vṛṣabhanu's daughter, Srimati Radhika Devi, has given permission to Vrinda Devi to make elaborate arrangements for festivities everyone's increasing pleasure, both for the moving and non-moving living entities. Here Krishna, Balarama's younger brother, the slayer of the demon Pralambasura, plays his flute with a fine touch, to attract the cowhead damsels who are expert in relishing music and the spiritual conjugal mellows, and the place they roam about hearing the flute. May that holy dham of Vṛndāvana give me shelter. Here the peacocks, mistaking Lord Krishna for a fresh rain-laden cloud because of his complexion resembling its hue, are dancing in joy. Here the sun god's friend, King Vṛṣabhanu's daughter, Srimati Radharani, is proudly declaring out of great attachment and possessiveness for her land, that Vṛndāvana is mine, and because of it, the deer, birds and other animals are pairing off and becoming jubilant. May that Vṛndāvana give me shelter. Here countless groves stand witness to adept coquetry and lovers' quarrels expertly won by Srimati Radhika, who is the reservoir of all transcendental qualities. Here the dust gives testimony of the intricate dancing steps of the Guru of all the amorous arts and love strategies, Sri Krishna, by being decorated with the impressions of his lotus feet. May that Vṛndāvana give me shelter. Here Giriraj Govardhan, after having attained the rarest distinction of becoming a pure devotee of the Supreme Lord, Haridas, is eternally residing. Here is situated the extraordinary place of the super excellent pastimes of Lord Krishna, that not only amazes the queens of Dwaraka, Rukmini and Satyabhama, but all the young girlfriends of Krishna, the cowherd damsels. It is the arena of the rasa dance. Here clusters of forest with fragrant flowering trees that increase the luster and nectarian charm of the ambience around the entire area. May that Vṛndāvana always give me shelter. Instructing the mind. Instructing the minds of those devotees who are sincere in pursuing a serious spiritual life of bhajana or worship. Priceless. The very esoteric spiritual purports of Śrīla Rupa Gosvāmī are incomparably superior, being received by him from Lord Chaitanya. Singing sweetly, loudly and clearly in the proper meter, in the company of others or alone. These 11 verses, Śrī Manaḥ-śikṣā, must be sweetly sung with a mood of entreaty and overflowing love. Clear understanding of the purports. The recondite devotional essence is ensconced in these 11 verses, should be fully fathomed and then recited or sung. So this is the end of this book, or the Splendid Instructions to the Mind, called Śrī Manaḥ-śikṣā by Śrīla Raghunātha Gosvāmī. So before concluding the session, we are going to sing a song written by Śrīla Raghunātha Gosvāmī, followed by a short kirtan. So we are going to sing this song. The song name is Pratah Pita Pate Kuchopari. The official name is Raghunātha Gosvāmī, Gosvāmina Prarthana. This is taken from the Stavāvali written by Śrīla Raghunātha Gosvāmī, and the source that we have taken it is from the kksongs.org, and we thank them for making all these songs available for us, so that we can sing it by looking at them. Pratah pita pate kucho paridasa ghurna bhare lochani बिम्बौष्ठे पृथुवीक्षते जटिलया सन्दृश्यमाने मुहुः वाचा युक्तिजुषामृषा ललितया तां सम्प्रतार्य क्रुधा दृष्ट्वेमं हृदि भीषिता स्तुतवती राधा ध्रुवं पातु वा पिकपटुरववाज्यैर्भृङ्गझङ्कारगानैः स्फुरदतुलकुङ्गद्क्रोडा रङ्गे सरङ्गम् स्मर सरसि कृतोज्जन्नुच्चतश्रान्तगात्रम् व्रजनवयुवयुग्मं नर्तकं वैजयामि कुहूकण्ठी कण्ठाद् अपि कमलकण्ठी मयि पुनर्विशाखागानस्यापि च रुचिरशिक्षां प्रणयतु यथाहं तेनैतद्युवयुगलमुल्लस्य सगानात् लभेदासे तस्मान् मणिप्रदकहारानिह मुहुः काञ्चानिन्दन्तम् उदये जलधरनिचयं तप्तकर्तस्वभावम् वाशो बिभ्राणम् ईशात् स्मितरुचिरमुखाम्भोजमाकल्पिताङ्गम् वामाङ्के राधिकां तां प्रथमरसकलाकेलिसौभाग्यमत्तम् आलिङ्ग्यालापभङ्ग्या व्रजपतितनयं स्मेरयन्तं स्मरामि. So this is a song called Pratah Pitapate Kuchovari, written by Śrīla Rupa Gosvāmī. We're going to follow this by small short kirtan. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Hare Krishna. So thank you for joining today's reading. We hope you will be able to join us in our next reading as well. Thank you once again. Hare Krishna.